Hi, welcome. Today you will hear about forage mass and structural responses on stockpiled alfalfa-bermudagrass systems. This study was supported by USGA and IFA and is a collaboration between University of Georgia and Auburn University. This study was conducted in two locations in 2019. My name is Lilian Silva. I work as a postdoctoral fellow at the Animal Science Department at Auburn University. Over time, there's been a decline on alfalfa acreage due to weather conditions and pest pressure in the South US. Recent breeding efforts developed new varieties more tolerant to growing conditions and grazing management that allowed it to be grown again in the region. After that, there has been a growing adoption of alfalfa in the region. Due to its great nutritive value, the incorporation of alfalfa into grass systems have been explored, and this mixture can also extend the forage production over the year. Besides, alfalfa contributes with nitrogen fixation to the grass, which decreases use of chemical nitrogen fertilizer. Bermuda grass is a viable option to be used in mixture with alfalfa because of the hybrid high production and nutritive value. But also, it has similar soil fertility and drainage requirements than alfalfa. The alfalfa Bermuda grass can be used for hay or silage production or be managed under grazing. Due to weather conditions in the southeast region, stockpiled forage is often a viable strategy to decrease feeding costs during winter when perennial pastures are dormant. Stockpiled alfalfa Bermuda grass systems can provide good quality feed and extend grazing season. Therefore, it is crucial to determine the best stockpiling strategy for managing this system. With that in mind, a stockpiled study was set up in two locations, Shorter, Alabama, and Chieftain, Georgia, in 2019. This was the first year of establishment in both of the stand establishment in both locations. The stand was cut in early August to 3 inches and stockpiled for 5 regrowth periods 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14 weeks. On these stands, several measurements were performed. Forage was harvested to determine yields and digestibility. Then, leaf area, canopy height, and percentage of each component of the stand was determined. Plus, leaf shattering and lodging was determined in alfalfa um, on both stands. Here are the results starting with forage yields. Oh, sorry. Starting with forage yields. On each table, I'm using AU to represent the location in Alabama and UGA to represent Georgia. For the Alabama location, forage range production ranged from uh, 1,516 to 2,461 kilos per hectare and was higher on the 8-week treatments. The Georgia's location followed similar pattern except that there was no difference on the 8-week treatment for the Georgia itself. But when compared both locations, the Alabama location produced more. The percentage of components with in basis of dry matter weight showed up to 84% of alfalfa in the mixture for the Auburn location. Then in Georgia, up to 44%. of alfalfa in that mixture. These differences are partially due to dry period at Chieftain at that time, especially when in September, when total rainfall was 3 times lower than the historical average. Besides, there was a higher seeding rate used for alfalfa in the Alabama location. Then, Bermuda grass was the second highest component in the mixture and was higher in the Georgia location, with close to 50% of the component of the forage samples. And the third component that we determined was the percentage of weeds on each forage sample. We also collect visual estimates of the three components, which are in the bottom of this slide, and were similar to the percentage obtained for both locations here. The canopy height ranges from 13 to 18 inches overall and was similar throughout the treatments. Alfalfa lodging ranges from 10 to 30%, with greater values associated with longer regrowth periods as expected. We also measured leaf shattering by attributing a score from 0 to 5 to the number of leaves that were still healthy and attached to the stems. On the Auburn location, the percentage of leaves still attached decreased over time, while in the Georgia location, the scores were similar throughout the period because of the impact of drought during that period. Then the leaf area index was also determined. This measurement estimates how much of sunlight the canopy can absorb, basically, and it decreases from 4 to 2 at the Alabama location due to less viable leaves to photosynthesize. Then, on forage quality, the digestibility ranged from 62 to 87%, and among locations was different only on the 6-week treatment. The crude protein ranged from 12 to 17%, with similar percentage for treatments after 8 weeks. It's important to remember that this mixture is providing high quality feed during a period that most systems are no longer able to continue to be grazed, and this will allow animals to continue to perform throughout that time. As we wrap up this presentation, there are some points I would like you to take as take-home messages. Alfalfa percentage in the mixture was close or superior to 40% for all treatments, and this mixture provided high nutritive value. Under the current stockpiling starting date, lodging and leaf shattering response suggests that up to 10 weeks would be the ideal time to harvest the forage before compromises quality due to elevated forage maturity on that material. However, more research is necessary to determine the most adequate date to stockpiling, since variation on weather, including the summer slump, can have high impact on ability of plants to grow and accumulate in August and September in some years in the southern region. Just to quickly touch on future research moving on this topic, we're currently grazing stockpiled Alfalfa-bermudagrass stands in both states and determining animal gain on them. This was the first year of these grazed systems, and we will be collecting data next year too. Thank you for watching this presentation. I hope you have enjoyed. Please write to my email address here on the screen if you have any questions. And again, we would like to acknowledge the funding acquired from USJ and IFA that allowed us to conduct this research. And I hope you enjoy this conference. Thank you so much.